second installment of Beneath the Spandex, the show which goes underground and uncovers the truth about real-life superheroes. As a kid, I loved comic books. I still do. And I used to fantasize about what it would be like to be a masked crusader, a secret vigilante. A lot of people experience this flight of imagination, but how many get to realize their dream? The answer, of course, is practically almost zero. Today, we venture to Great Yarmouth, where a man who goes by the name of the Spell Checker tries to rid his community of horrendous spelling and disgraceful grammatical error. Let's go to Yarmouth. Okay, see you then. That was the Spell Checker on the line. Now he is coming here to meet us at Beneath the Spandex. If you look to the right over here, you will see evidence of the Spell Checker at work. It looks like here someone has written Stas was here. The U and the Z have been corrected to say Stas was here with the A and an S. Completely correct now, as you can see. Evidence of his greatness at work. Spell Checker, I presume. Nice to finally meet you.
It's nice to meet you, Mr. Hoddle.
Now, you brought us here to Great Yarmouth, which I understand to be a hotbed of bad spelling and grammar. Why don't you give us just a little bit of insight into how you work here?
I take daily patrols of the town, correcting errors that I see on my daily patrols. The corrections I make are often impromptu, which is why I carry everything I need with me. First of all, we have the Oxford English Dictionary, or the OED, as us in the profession call it. And it's my Bible. I carry it everywhere with me. I'm never without it. I rarely need it for reference, of course, because my spelling skills are just so advanced. However, it is sometimes a comfort to have with me, and I'd never lose my side. Secondly, we have my red correction paint. Red is the universal colour for correction. It'll make sure that my work will always be stood out, and people will know when they have made spelling mistakes. Secondly, after that, I have my camera. If I see a larger problem that needs more tactics and there may be logistical problems with it, I'll take photos of it, go back to Spell Checker headquarters, and then come up with a true plan for it. The torch is reasonably self-explanatory.
Okay. Obviously the spelling and grammar is great, arithmetic not too hot, but that's good to know. So have you had anything big recently?
Nothing very heavy, mostly badly spelled graffiti. There are a lot of good graffiti artists around this area, and especially down the road in Norwich as well, but I can't really say too much for their spelling and grammar.
So I'm curious about your opinions regarding the advances in technology, mobile phones, Facebook, that type of thing. Obviously, the English language itself has taken a hit. What are your opinions on this?
It's an absolute disgrace, Chad. It is an absolute disgrace. It is a terrible development that the human race has acquired. All this lolling and rufflecopters as well that these children are saying nowadays, I think it's absolutely disgusting and should be made illegal.
If there were a law regarding this, what do you think would be an appropriate punishment?
Well, a few days community service with me, and that'd show them. I'm going to come back here tonight and do some more spelling work. If you'd like to, you can join me in a few hours and I'll show you a bit of what I do.
That sounds amazing.
Until then, Mr. Hoddle.
So I met with the Spell Checker that night, and here's what he showed me. As you can see, he was very busy, as the graffiti artists around here really cannot spell. Look at him go. Shaking his correction paint, doing some corrections, and there it is, that signature tick. Just beautiful work. What a hero. Before disappearing into the night, we arranged to meet in Norwich tomorrow. He wants to show me something else. So here we are with the spell checker in Norwich as he prepares to carry out just one of his many critical weekly duties. Spell checker, just give us a little bit of insight into what we're doing here today.
This building is a commissioned art project, and on the side of this building is written a whole novel. And every week I come here and I read a little bit extra of the novel and try to find a spelling mistake, which I know is there. I know there's a spelling mistake, but I'm yet to find it, and one day I will. One day. Please excuse me while I take up my position.
This really is quite a spectacle. I'm having a hard time getting my head around this. It's got funny, right? Well, he's been up there for about 2 hours now. I think it's safe to say that unlike Superman, Batman, comic heroes of lore, this guy isn't really affecting millions. Okay? He's not a personal vendetta mission against grammar. That brings us to the end of this week's edition of Beneath the Spandex. But join me next week for some of this. Have you heard of the spell checker?
No, what is it?
No, I've never heard of him.
No, sorry.
No, never heard of him.
Yeah, I've had a couple encounters with him, man. I mean, you know, we just out here in the streets, we just doing our thing, you know, expressing ourselves, you know, and like, he just come and cancels that out, man. It's not fair, man. You know, every time I walk past one of my tags, and like, you know, I see that it's been checked by him, it's worse than having someone else write over it, man. Like, no word of a lie to you, blood, I swear.